Hey everybody, Rob here again from Final Third Cigar. With me as always,
Isaiah.
and we're here to do the Final Third Cigar pairing of the week. Today, we're going to be doing the Mil Diaz Marinitos Edición Limitada 2022, and we're going to be pairing that with
An A&W cream soda. Now this pairing will probably work for most cream sodas on the market. We're just going for the standard cream soda flavor.
Yeah, we were starting out and we did some tasting of some different things with the cigar. And as we were sipping on the cream soda, all the flavors just kind of popped perfectly. So we thought this would be a great pairing, especially for those that don't want to have liquor. They can actually pair it with a nice soda.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're going to do today.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and cut and light our cigars up. This is going to be a segment that's going to be on the Cigar Pulpit podcast. But we're also going to have an extended version just put up on the YouTube channel there on our website, finalthirdcigar.com. So you can come check us out there as well.
Yeah. You going to do the cold draw?
Yes, we probably should do the cold draw first.
Right now it's like sweet hay, almost wheat.
Yeah, a little bit of the nutmeggies, but that's about all I get right now.
Yeah.
Now, what was fun when we did it the first time, and we're going to do it again this time, is doing the cold draw with the sip, and it was actually really nice because this cream soda is, like a lot of vanilla, very tasty. And when you do it with the sip first and then you go to the cigar on the cold draw, it becomes really strong hay with a little bit of the vanilla in there, sweetness, but not overwhelming. When you go the opposite way, you tend to get the vanilla really popping.
Yeah.
And that's why we thought this would be a really great pairing with this cigar. All right, let's get her lit up.
I'm glad I remembered to put fuel in this before I came.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah, our first video we did, it was a little bit
noisy.
I guess the recording wasn't great, though. It wasn't very good noise.
We got grilled for that.
We were basically just using our microphones off of the phone.
So we upgraded, so hopefully it sounds quite a bit better this week.
I would assume so.
It better.
How's your week been, man?
Oh, not too bad. Starting off pretty chill.
Yeah?
You know, when you can lead the week with a cigar pairing video, I don't think anything could go wrong. These things are good right off the light.
They are. If you haven't gotten your hands on any of these yet, this cigar is just fantastic. It's a limited release. Most of them have probably already gotten out, if not all of them gotten out to the brick and mortars by this time. So definitely seek this cigar out. If you like the original Mil Diaz, this thing is just like the original with just on steroids. It's absolutely amazing.
I am a huge fan of the original Mil Diaz, but this just takes it up a notch. Now, when these get all sold out and I won't be able to have another one, I'm still going to smoke the original, but this is just absolutely fantastic.
And this one, just right off the light, you start getting a lot more of the pepper notes in your retrohale.
Yeah.
But you get a really strong bomb of baking spice notes.
Yeah.
Just right off the palate, really fast.
Yeah, that nutmeg is hanging there. There's a little bit of clove.
Yeah.
Maybe some cinnamon.
Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about this cigar. So this cigar, again, like it says, it come out from Crowned Heads this year. It's a medium Robusto, limited the 2022 release. I think this is the fourth year that they've come out with this cigar. Every year it's just a little bit different, but this is this year's release. The wrapper is an Ecuadorian Sumatra Maduro with a Nicaraguan binder. And then the fillers are Costa Rican, Nicaraguan, and Peruvian. So it's got a nice complexity to it, which you'll find out as you continue to smoke this cigar. MSRP is around that $12.50 range, and then you add your state taxes and local taxes as well to that. MSRP on a can of this is about 50 cents to $1.
Yeah, it's a cheap pairing today. That's for sure.
Yeah, last week's pairing was a little bit more costly.
Yeah, yeah. So like right off the light, I'm getting a ton of nuttiness. Like it's nutty. It's the baking spices. It's just kind of all the things you'd want.
Yeah, absolutely perfect draw on the cigar too. I think we probably smoked probably at least 5 apiece, if not more.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little bit bad.
The draw's been perfect every time.
Yeah.
You know, the thing I get right now, which is something we talked about before, is the frosted mini wheats.
Yeah, there is a very cereal-like quality to this, but it is more in that wheat, in the range of like wheat, but especially once you get it with the soda, it really nails that frosted mini wheats.
It really
thing.
does. The vanilla it's more of the mini wheats until you get that little bit of cream soda, and then obviously it becomes that frosted mini wheats. It's just really nice.
Yeah.
The sweetness, the balance of the spice, everything's just going nicely together.
So smoke to sip for me, it really does solidify that. But then there's also a fruity thing with this specific cream soda that shows up at the end. It is very breakfast cereal like, but the flavors are very complimentary here.
Well, and I'm not sure, where you're located. It was a little hard to find some cream soda in our area. We went out last night and finally found a few, and we just decided to choose the A&W cream soda for the main reason that it's more commonly found around the nation. We did pick up a couple of Jones cream sodas too, but I know that can be regional, so we decided to go ahead and go with this one.
Yeah.
So far, it's really nice. The first few times I smoked this one, I'm sure as we get into this, we'll even more. You don't even really have to double puff this cigar very often.
No, you don't.
Just got a great construction on it.
Yeah.
But
I haven't
beautiful.
had burn problems with any of them.
No.
It stays lit crazy well. I know on Saturday, Rob and I were smoking these, and people were coming into the shop, and Rob normally, when he walks into the humidor and then checks somebody out selling cigars, all of his cigars need like 7 relights.
Yeah.
Before he ends up finishing them. This one just stayed going.
Yeah, I walked away at least 10 minutes at one point, and it had a nice solid probably inch and a half ash on there.
Yeah.
I came back to the cigar, and it just kept going. So it's definitely great construction. One of my favorite crowned heads at the moment.
Yeah, it might be my favorite crown heads. So the really nice thing is after you've had a little bit of that cream soda, even on the retrohale, that vanilla starts coming through. So you get the kind of black pepper on your nostril. It stings a little bit. It's kind of that nice peppery sensation, but then right at the end there, it goes into vanilla, and it's a very welcome vanilla.
Yeah, and the first third stays pretty true. It's going to take us a little while to get into this second third, but that first third stays really true to these notes all the way through. You don't get any kind of an off flavor at all. It's very well aged. We've had a few cigars we've been smoking here recently that we've gotten, and we've had to set them back for a few weeks because they kind of were a little green.
Yeah.
And I get that. People are pushing product out as quick as they can. This one definitely, you can tell they took their time on.
Yeah.
And it's perfect right out of the box. So
It really is.
I enjoy it. We're doing the same thing that Nick and Gator do.
Yeah.
We both puff at the same time and no one's talking.
It's okay. Even for the extended cut, we're not gonna
That's true.
have an hour 30-minute thing.
No.
Especially since YouTube is cracking down on all the cigar content today.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know if any of you guys saw out there. There's been a couple of channels been already booted because of their cigar content. So,
Yeah.
Who knows how long this will last with YouTube.
Yeah.
If it doesn't last, we'll find another platform to put them on, or we'll just have them on the website only. But definitely Big Brother's watching, and they definitely don't want to have us smoking cigars or drinking any of our good drinks. So
kind of crazy.
I guess at least cream soda is safe for YouTube right now.
Yeah, but these are not.
Yeah. So we've had a really good few weeks here at Final Third. We had a couple of great events. We had a Cinco de Mayo event that we had a blast at. A buddy of mine, Keegan Spencer, he's one of our local liquor marketing managers, and he did a great job with walking people through tequila, showing them the differences between a Blanco, Reposado, Añejo, and Extra Añejo. And really it was a nice educational process for people to learn not only about tequila, but how to pair a cigar with tequila.
Yeah.
We had several cigars we paired. Probably the best one, which is kind of funny being Cinco de Mayo, was that Street Tacos by Rojas, which was absolutely amazing that it worked out that way. But it was just a great cigar with the tequila. But that was a fun time. We're looking to do more and more events. That way we can try to get more people out here and not just hopefully not just your standard events. We want to do some events that are going to be a little bit different. Nothing wrong with the buy four, get one free event, stuff like that. But we'd like to be able to bring people in and maybe do a little education, do the pairings, and really just kind of develop the culture within what we already have around here, and just continue to grow more people into, what we love, cigars, cocktails, bourbon, any of this stuff. I mean, we've got some new beers coming in that are going to be great to pair with them. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's what we really want to do here is create more of a culture as opposed to just a place to come and grab a cigar and smoke it.
Yeah.
And I think so far we're doing an okay job on that. We're going to continue to do that. This next couple weeks, actually, I think in about a week, our patio is going to be
Yeah.
So we're getting an outdoor patio, part covered, part not. That's going to be a blast because, in Indiana, we got a lot of months of really good weather where you can just sit outside and enjoy a cigar. And if you could hang out here and enjoy a cigar and a drink and just relax, I think it's going to be an absolute blast.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here, and I think we're building a nice group of people coming in.
Absolutely.
Regulars, and every day we're seeing new people. So I think we're starting something here that's going to be special for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been really nice to see the reception from the community and already established cigar people in the community that have their shops but still even want to come by and support. So.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, and it's been great having Isaiah on the team here too. Once you get to know him, you'll find out this guy knows a little bit about everything on bourbon. You can ask him about a bottle that you randomly bring up, and he can tell you the details on that bottle.
That's a little bit of an exaggeration.
Where the glass was blown and pretty much everything else.
Okay, that's a big exaggeration.
But now he really knows bourbon, and he's also, he knows a lot about cigars already, but he's learning more and more every day.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a good partnership, with the amount of knowledge you have on liquor and the amount of knowledge I have on cigars to bring it in here. And honestly, that's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted both of us to do this, because he's got an amazing palate for bourbon. Mine's getting better and better every day. I've got a really good palate for cigars.
That's true.
And his is very good as well. And I think the two of us can hopefully pull some fun stuff out here for you. And as we get better at the whole video process here, hopefully we can bring some more fun into it.
Yeah.
And just have a good time doing this.
Yeah.
The goal isn't just to create a page where people can come and stare at our stupid faces for an hour while we're smoking cigars.
We're really not that pretty.
No. Well, speak for yourself. But this beard's, man, it's magical.
Yeah, I'll work on that. I'll work on a beard. Still pretty patchy.
Yeah. But we are looking to do this for fun and also to help hopefully bring some ideas to light for you to try a different pairing. And hopefully as we do this, you go out and try these and see what it does for you. If you do, just comment on it and tell us what you think.
Yeah.
If you have a pairing that you really enjoyed, if you smoked a cigar and you said, man, I really liked it with this rye or whatever, let us know, because we're always, not only do we do this for fun here, we do this every day we're here. Every cigar we're smoking, we're trying to figure out what are we going to pair with it. Yeah. And
absolutely.
Some nights we drink a lot of liquor.
That too. I think we're just connoisseurs of all things flavor. Just if it's good, it's good, and that's kind of the fun part about cigars and whiskey and all of that thing is when you can find an exceptional pairing, it is totally worth your time.
Absolutely, yeah. Yep. Well, as you can see, perfect burn. I mean, it's just absolutely great cigar.
Yeah.
One of the things, this has got kind of a darkish gray ash. What you'll find is if you get a cigar, and we had a couple of them that I can't really disclose yet, but we will eventually.
Yeah.
That we smoked that were aged cigars, and the ash on them was solid and it was white.
Yeah,
And
some ash looks like it's like stacking dimes.
Yeah.
This was just a solid sheet.
It was solid.
It's beautiful.
But it was a little bit whiter.
Yeah.
And typically what happens is on an ash that's very white, you got a very high magnesium content to the soil. So when you see a cigar that has a whiter ash, you got higher magnesium. If you see one with a darker grayer ash, likely you got a lot lower magnesium level in the soil. That's what I've seen in a lot of Cubans. A lot of them are darker ash, which I'm just assuming means they have a lot less magnesium in Cuba than they might in Nicaragua or Honduras or something. So
I didn't know that.
Yep. The more you know.
The more you coals.
That don't even make sense. What are you getting, Rob? Has it changed at all for you?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I mean, I do think there's a new sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Can't really put my finger on it right now, but it definitely, and I haven't taken a sip for a little while, but I definitely feel like there's almost a caramely sweetness.
Yeah. You and your caramel.
I mean, not
It's
like
okay.
a sweet, but there is something there. Maybe a honey caramel or something like that. Just a tinge of sweetness underneath it
Yeah.
that's really nice.
I could see that honey thing.
It's
but
good.
We're talking artificial honey, not like farmer's market clover honey.
Absolutely. And it could just be the cream soda hanging on the palate, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to do the pairing.
I keep just smoking this
I
cigar.
know.
It's so good.
It is so good. I'm telling you guys, if you get a chance to get these cigars, man, get out and get them. They're absolutely fantastic. And honestly, it's a really good price point for what we're used to paying for cigars now.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gone from the $8 to $10 cigars are now becoming more of the $10 to $12 cigars. This is in that $12 to $14 range, depending on your state again with the taxes. We're in the $13 range, somewhere in there on ours here because of our lovely state taxes. But again, that's not a bad price for a cigar, especially for a cigar of this quality.
Yeah.
There are still some great cigars under $10. I mean, there's a lot of them. Mm-hmm. But from what we've seen with the price increases this year, and everybody has to, and I totally understand it, because not only do they have higher shipping costs, they had all that loss of time during COVID for almost 2 years, where the farms weren't able to produce, or they were producing crops, but they didn't do anything with it other than throw them in the barns. So now they got to start working, and rolling these cigars.
Yeah.
And I get it. Labor costs are high. Transportation costs are high.
Mm-hmm.
Taxes keep going up. So I hate to say it, but I don't see anytime soon where the prices are going to be
I don't
dropping.
think so.
We're going to probably have a small increase every year. But
I
for
mean,
those of us,
everything went up this year.
everything did.
Not just tobacco.
Well,
so.
for those of us that that truly love this this culture, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
we pay $4 a gallon for gas because we know we need to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
We're not going to stop doing that because gas is high.
Sorry if you're in California. I
Oh,
know
my
that
gosh.
4 sounds cheap to you.
No doubt, no doubt.
So I just did smoke then sip, and it's still staying in that range of the frosted mini wheats. There is a little bit of that honey thing that Rob was kind of getting at, but
Ooh.
there's also like a ginger thing, but not fresh ginger, like ground dried ginger like you'd use in baking. So
More like
it
a
is
ginger cookie.
yeah, it is that baking spice thing, but just narrowing that down to just kind of a ground ginger.
I'm getting even a little bit of like a sugar sweetness.
Yeah.
Well, just on the puff before the sip, which I don't remember the first time we smoked this, or the first 5 times we smoked this.
I don't remember that either. So I can see that though. Yeah, it's just a very creamy smoke. So Rob had just mentioned almost a sugar sweetness, but it's showing up more as like a coconut, like not like candied coconut or anything like that, but kind of fresh coconut. You're just pulling right out of the shell. It is that sort of fruity sweetness in that similar vein, and it last time we got it, it was closer to the beginning of the second third, and I'm not all the way there yet, but it's showing up earlier this time.
Yeah, I agree. And looking back at the notes we took yesterday or day before, whatever it was, the things that we were coming up with right at the beginning of second third are already showing up now.
Yeah.
And I was getting a waffle cone, which I'm getting now.
Yeah.
Not like a super sweet waffle cone, but just that waffle cone type flavor.
Yeah.
But then we were also getting that fresh coconut, baking spice notes in there. And, when you take a sip with that, you end up getting this kind of almost a coconut cream pie kind of note with a graham cracker crust. I mean, it's just
so
dessert.
Yeah,
It's
so
dessert.
I just smoked and then sipped, and Rob is dead on. It is a coconut cream pie, graham cracker crust. It's like a toasted graham cracker crust for sure. It's not like Teddy Grahams or anything like that. Wow.
And I wonder if that could be coming a little bit in from the. Oh man, there's that. Gosh, that coconut was strong on that one.
Yeah.
If it's coming from some of that Peruvian tobacco, I know Peruvian tobacco can have some kind of funky, odd flavors that you don't normally get in some tobaccos, and it could be that in the combination of that and the Costa Rican.
Yeah.
That could be doing it too.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see
I'm digging it.
Costa Rican tobacco all that often, I don't think.
No, I've seen it pop up more.
Recently.
More recently, yeah.
I mean, there was
Peruvian as well.
Yeah.
The one thing I've found in the last 6 months, maybe 9 months, there are several cigars that are coming out with this Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper on them. And I've never been a Sumatra fan at all. And all of a sudden, these things are becoming some of my favorites. There are several of them I really love. This one's one of them. Another one I smoke a lot of is the Laranja Azulejo from Espinosa.
Mm-hmm.
Another great Ecuadorian. I think it's
That'll
Ecuadorian
probably
Sumatra.
make an appearance in
It
this
will at some point.
At the rate that we smoke them.
Yes, yeah. But I'm just really digging it because I've always said I'm not a Sumatra fan until these more recent ones. It seems like it's the darker Sumatra that I'm liking. The blood's a little bit lighter. I don't know what the difference and why they change so much, but the lighter ones tend to have a little bit more of the kind of funky spice flavors to them.
Yeah.
Where this one, it seems to have mellowed out and got into more of the baking spice that I like a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The more I smoke this and think about that coconut thing, it's there.
Yeah.
It's definitely there.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you do this pairing, make sure you sit down and just kind of relax. It's hard to come up with the flavor notes when you're sitting there, and we all know it. The whole point of smoking cigars and having a bourbon or any drink for that matter is to sit down with someone, relax, hang out, have a conversation. If you really want to come up with these flavors, you're probably going to, you can still have that conversation, but just really sit back and think about what you're smoking because it's all about a memory. It's all about that memory of a flavor you've had before. I absolutely love coconut cream pie, and I eat it as much as I possibly can or as much as Lisa will let me.
Yeah.
And that flavor note is so strong to me on here, but it's just that memory of something I absolutely love. And as you do focus on the flavors, you'll find those memories pop up more and more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that is all flavor notes are. We're not tasting literal coconut. We're not tasting literal waffle cone. It's just your brain's closest association to what you're tasting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why flavor notes are subjective. We'll get you close, hopefully.
Yeah.
At least show you a good pairing.
Well, and I know Isaiah said on the last podcast, but flavors are very subjective. and it's going to be, the flavors you get are the flavors you should get.
Yeah.
They're not the flavors that we should get. I know a lot of people smoke, and as long as the cigar burns well and smokes well, they don't get flavors, but they still enjoy it. That's
Yep.
fine. Whatever you enjoy is the way you should enjoy your cigar.
Yep.
I find myself, I continue to double puff because it's my norm,
Yeah.
and I'm over smoking it. I'm smoking it too fast because of that.
Yeah. It really
need
does
to.
not need that.
Nope.
I'm getting it to the place in here where I'm getting that umami note. It's almost, now this will sound nasty with the flavor combination we are giving you, but it is like almost a mushroom thing. But it doesn't feel out of place. But there is very much a savory note there.
Yeah, there really is. I'm starting to get a little bit as well. It's kind of I'm starting to get some wood in there. Maybe it is a
Yeah.
cedar note.
I'm getting that cedar on the retrohale
Yeah.
more than anything. And the black pepper from the first third is turning into more of a red pepper. I'm not all the way ready to call it there, but it is. It's turning into more of that just kind of spice.
Yeah. Yeah, the pepper's coming in nice. But it's still got that sweetness.
Yeah. It does. So,
It's getting there's a touch of leather
yeah.
coming in there now too.
Yeah.
Not a dark leather, almost more of a, I don't know what kind of leather you want to call it, but more of a lighter leather. I don't even know how you
lick
it's not
leather
a flavor.
often?
I guess. I like the ones that say it's shoe leather. I'm like,
Shoe leather.
You been licking shoe leather lately?
What, it just smells a little bit poopy where they stepped in it? Like, what does that mean?
Oh, Gurkha. Where'd that come from?
I'm leaving that in.
Yeah, that spice is really nice on the retrohale. But it is, on the palate, it's turning more into almost a graham cracker thing. That sort of similar vein of sweetness for me.
Yeah.
It's got that savory umami note there. And on the retrohale, it is like cedar. I can see that leather and red pepper spice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a very complex cigar. There's a lot going on here. It's going to hit a lot of different palates.
Yeah. And I just took a puff and then drank this A&W cream soda, and this differed from the last cream soda that we had used. But if you smoke and then sip this cream soda, it turns into almost like a marshmallow or like a meringue topping on a pie.
I was thinking meringue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. When we actually were looking at this at first, we were doing a Dr. Pepper cream soda.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different profile on that one.
Yeah.
Still had a lot more cream soda, but
Yeah.
and that may have been where we were getting some of that different type of sweetness out of it, was the Dr. Pepper side of it as opposed to just cream soda.
Yeah.
This one, with it being the vanilla, just a traditional vanilla cream soda, it seems to be pulling a lot more of that meringue note.
Yeah. Yeah.
Way more than I remember before.
Uh-huh.
So we've been smoking for about 30 minutes now on this one. As you can see, we're just getting into the second third.
Yeah.
This is going to be a long smoke. It's going to be probably a good hour and a half smoke at least.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I tend to smoke slower. Obviously, you do too. But I am smoking this way faster than I normally do.
This cigar kind of forces you to smoke slow.
It does.
If you smoke it quick, you'll get the off flavors of a normal hot cigar, but it just won't burn it won't treat you kindly.
Now, I will say that one good way on this cigar to know if you're smoking it too fast, because it is such a great draw, is if you start puffing and you're getting like very little smoke, you're over puffing it.
Yeah.
Let it rest, because I noticed that early on when I was smoking here, I was puffing it too much, and the smoke just got super wafty, and I let it set for a few minutes, and actually now it's back to being thick, rich smoke.
Yeah.
It just needs to rest and let it do its thing.
Yep.
All right, now solid into the second third now. We're coming up with a lot of really cool transitions in the cigar. One of the biggest ones we had talked about was this coconut note that's come in here pretty strongly.
Yeah.
It's coconut cream pie at this point, because you've got the coconut, you've got the graham cracker crust, you've got the vanilla that's popping through still quite a bit, but you're also getting when you take a sip of the A&W, you're now getting the meringue on top.
Yeah.
And it just all comes together, and that's exactly what I'm tasting right now in the second third.
And the beautiful thing is on the retrohale, still you're getting that cedar, that leather, that red pepper, and it's just finishing with a hint of vanilla.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
And when you go the opposite, take a sip and then smoke, that graham cracker becomes a darker, not burnt, but like just slightly overcooked butter.
Yeah, grandma
in the graham cracker.
overcooked that
Just a little bit.
Still
tasty.
wonderful.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that retro, a little bit of that red pepper in there.
Yeah.
It's definitely transitioned from just black pepper to more red pepper now. Mm-hmm. Still smoking great through the second, third.
Yeah.
No issues whatsoever. So this cigar, when you're smoking it in the first and second, third, it's a solid medium, maybe just a slight bit above medium.
Yeah.
It does ramp up a bit towards the end.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not going to be a cigar that's going to be, blowing your palate in any way. Mm-hmm. I think anybody could smoke this cigar. If you are a very, very light smoker, maybe grab something to eat before you smoke it, or have a little bit of sugar on hand. If you're drinking a cream soda, you're good no matter what anyway.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not one that's going to give you those super dark black pepper notes that just are in the taste, as well as the retrohale.
Yeah.
You're going to get the pepper notes in the nose, just because it does have that spice to it. But it's definitely not a strong cigar in any way.
I don't think so. No. For the past couple weeks, I've been coming in and smoking these first thing in the day. So like at noon and drinking coffee. So it is not something that's going to blow you away. And it's also not something that's going to blow your palate out for any other cigars you want to smoke after it.
Yeah, absolutely. So getting definitely solidly into the second, third, even towards the maybe second half of second, third now.
Yeah.
It's lost a little bit of the sweetness, and the dark graham cracker notes, like you just said, were actually popping a little bit more.
Yeah, they are.
Super good, but you're getting a lot more of that dark, almost, like I said, almost overcooked graham cracker.
Yeah.
But the sweetness is still underlying to it. There is a little bit of a kind of a buttery note with that graham cracker I'm getting this time.
Yeah.
And that may be what I'm thinking is the burnt part, is the overcooked butter on the graham cracker. But
yeah. I mean, the nice thing is the sweetness from the general cigar has subsided, but as soon as you drink that cream soda, it just kind of completes everything and adds that sweetness to that graham cracker and adds that little bit of meringue that's going on.
Yeah, that's the craziest part, is the with the darkness of this cigar now in the second, third, I'm getting a lot less of the coconut, and I'm getting a ton of the meringue.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not getting the coconut anymore. And I'm not getting that. I don't think I'm getting that umami or mushroomy thing anymore either.
No. There's kind of a little bit of a leather consistency still in there, but not near as much as there was just even half inch before this. Definitely still has a nice, thick, creamy smoke to it as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, this thing's burning like a champ.
So See, my problem is I keep going back to take a puff because it's so good, but I need to slow down.
Yeah.
So that's something else about this this cigar and this presentation. Crown Heads did a really nice job on the presentation. It does take up a lot of space on the shelf for those of you that have a brick and mortar.
Yeah.
But they got 12 cigars in here, and they line them sideways. Obviously, we've smoked quite a few out of this box.
Just a couple.
But you know, they line them sideways like this. But it's a really nice presentation, solid box. Crown Heads does a nice job on their displays, that's for sure.
So smoke to sip right now for me, like on the sip, I just got like cinnamon meringue. And it was almost like cinnamon toast crunch.
Nice.
like just that cinnamon sugar dust.
Back to that cereal note you were talking about.
Yeah, it is.
I can see that. Yeah, because I'm getting still a little bit of like nutmegginess, but that could be the combination of cinnamon spice and nutmeg kind of thing there too. So we're kind of getting closer to the final third. We're still at the end of the second third, but there is a note that's starting to pop for me. I don't know if you've got it yet or not.
That fennel?
A little bit of fennel coming up now, which is interesting. I love that absinthe anise note that you get out of a cigar every once in a while. Absolutely love it in my liquor.
Yeah.
A lot.
He likes it a lot.
A lot. But when you get it in a cigar, it's kind of a special little thing. And this one's starting to get a little bit. I know it ramps up a little bit here in a minute, so I can't wait for that part of it. But yeah, fennel's popping a little bit now. Still getting the graham cracker and all that as well.
Yeah. And it's not all the way anise.
No, not at all.
And we know that is coming because there is still that earthy quality to it, that very earthy quality. On the retrohale, the spices died down a little bit for me.
It has me too. Actually, a lot.
Yeah.
There's hardly any red pepper at all now.
Yeah. I found this the last time that I smoked it, that it kicked down about at this mark, and then it just ramped up in the final third. So this cigar has a ton of transitions, and it is, it's all the same, similar flavor profile, and of course it's the same tobaccos all the way through. But it's just really interesting once you pay attention to it, like what's there, what's showing up again, what's died down.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a cigar that, you know, if you're one of those guys that like transitions, that really am not excited about cigars that are the same note all the way through, this will be a great one for you.
Yeah.
I go back and forth. There are cigars I love that are the same note all the way through because I love that note.
Yeah.
But this is definitely one that's going to keep you thinking. You're going to constantly be wondering what's that next flavor, and it just keeps me thinking the entire way. Very complex.
Yeah. And it's a nice size too, because a lot of cigars that are one note for me, I'll just grab in a Robusto size because, if I grabbed a Toro, I'd be bored of it by the end of it. But this one, even if they made it in a Churchill, I think I would still love it.
Yeah, and as you can see, this is a Robusto. So
it's a little bit longer.
Looks like a little bit longer than a typical Robusto, maybe half-inch longer. But it's probably, and I'd have to look it up. It's definitely more like a 52 ring gauge. But it's we're going to be getting an hour and a half at the least out of this cigar.
Yeah.
And for a Robusto, that's solid right there.
So I just retrohaled and got maple syrup.
All right.
Yeah. So it like real maple syrup, not like Aunt Jemima, but kind of that fruity.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's something we didn't get last time either.
No,
I wonder if that's the cream soda.
Could be.
Yeah, it just hangs on the tongue like maple syrup.
Yeah, so I'm getting into the final third, just approaching it, and Rob's already into it. Somehow he smoked this quicker than I did, because normally those rolls are reversed, but that's how it goes.
It is what it is.
What are you getting, Rob?
Still getting that dark graham cracker note. It definitely has pulled that fennel out now. It's definitely in this third. Not quite. I mean, when you get probably another inch in here, half inch into this, we'll get to some more of that, a little bit darker, more towards the anise. But right now, you're getting that fennel, getting a little bit of the, still got the baking spice notes. When you do the sip afterwards, you still get the meringue. Lost all the coconut, not getting any coconut at all now. But it's still got a lot of those dark flavors. The strength level is kicked up to a solid, probably medium plus now. Never gets to full, but it's definitely more of a medium plus, and just really, really nice. I mean, it's continued to transition to just something a little darker and richer now.
Yeah, and that pepper has, on mine, it's starting to kick back up. I'm sure on the retro hail, that pepper's in full force again for you.
Oh yeah, and it's more black pepper now.
Yeah.
Not as much red. Yeah, there's another note in there too I'm getting. I'm trying to think of what that is now. It's definitely changing even more.
So I was along the lines of, again, like that cedar, that fennel, and pepper on the retro hail that last time.
Yeah.
But it is that toasted graham cracker thing.
Yeah.
And-
I'm getting a dark chocolate note now.
Yeah.
And that's nice as well. Like we said, this thing just keeps changing
Yeah, I can see that.
all the way through. I'd definitely give the complexity a high score on this one for sure.
Absolutely.
Perfect smoking, still smoking great.
Yeah.
No issues at all. The only issue we may have had just when we're sitting here talking, but that's us, not the cigar at all.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, I've ashed 3 large chunks, and I probably could have done 1 large chunk at this point. I'm just knocking it off so it didn't fall over me, but it's the ash is holding on solid.
Yeah.
Just a really great cigar.
Yeah, these are spectacular, and with the cream soda, it is a match made in heaven. There's a lot of cream soda is a pretty general base for your cigar smoking, but I think this one will actually elevate the cigar, and the cigar elevates the cream soda quite a bit.
Yeah. Now I think it would go really well with a root beer as well. Very similar type,
Yeah.
soda. Not so sure. I mean, I think it would go fine with any if you like other sodas as well. But definitely those darker sodas is
Yeah.
gonna be probably better.
No Mountain Dew. None of that.
Yeah, that might throw it off a little bit. Sprite and 7-Up might throw it off, but even that Dr. Pepper cream soda we
Yeah.
had the other day was actually really nice
It
with
was.
this too. But the thing I am liking about this is the notes we took for the Dr. Pepper cream soda
They've changed.
have changed a lot just by changing it to straight up cream soda, which will happen every time you pair something, which is why it's nice. If you take the same cigar and we pull out a scotch or a bourbon or a rye, I mean, how amazing would that be? How much it's going to be different because those spice notes are going to pop more.
Yeah.
The sweetness will probably die down, and it just that's the fun part of this, guys. It's when you get to pairing your cigars, it really just elevates the experience
It
of
does.
smoking your cigars. Now, if you were trying to find the true notes of this cigar and just a cigar, again, water.
Yeah,
You know,
room
just
temperature
room
water.
temperature water, and you'll be fine. But sometimes that can get a little boring too. It's
Yeah.
always fun to pair it with something nice.
It is. Another thing I was getting on the retro hail is that honey thing, that artificial honey.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Which,
just got that on that
when
pup.
I say artificial honey, I'm associating it with those honey packets you get at fast food restaurants that are probably a little bit of honey, but a lot of high
Artificial.
fructose corn syrup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it's just kind of your very general bland honey flavor.
And saying that now, you ever had the like at the Popeyes chicken, they got the biscuits and you put the honey and the butter on there?
Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit of that biscuity note in there too.
I don't know why you're going to Popeyes, dude. Churches, they come preloaded with the honey and the butter.
I don't go to either very often, but when I do,
bad.
I just grab whatever I see.
Yeah, I can totally see that honey butter biscuit. Except this won't dry your mouth out like a Popeye's biscuit.
That's true. That's very true. Very true. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Somebody has to. Yeah, smoke and or sip then smoke for me. Actually, on the Retro Hail, I got that black pepper, and it was very distinctly black pepper. It wasn't as, I don't know. Sometimes you say black pepper, and it's just a very mild spice, but that was, to me, very, very black pepper, like fresh cracked black pepper.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And that's the thing, too. Some people will get black pepper, or they'll call it black pepper, if they've just got a strong cigar and it's really strong on their nasal cavity.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of a burn. You're gonna get that a lot of times, no matter what you're smoking.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, it's actually the flavor of the black pepper coming through.
Yeah.
Because I've been retrohaling already today, and I haven't had that initial shock to the system.
Yeah.
Is this your first cigar of the day?
Sadly.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Just my second.
Yeah. What'd you smoke before this?
The Cameroon Aladino.
Always.
Love that cigar.
Always the Aladino Cameroon.
Yeah.
It's like they sponsor you or something.
You'd think so.
You'd
Oh,
hope.
wait. They do. Huh. So those of you that don't know, here at Final Third, we're actually at Indiana's exclusive Aladino Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
So we absolutely love the people from Aladino, and we're so glad to be in partnership with them in this. So we're finally getting towards the end of the Final Third here, at least halfway through the Final Third.
Yeah.
You're a little bit left than that, more than I do, but the strength is definitely ramped up to more of a medium to medium full.
Yeah.
The flavors are darker and richer now. You're still getting a lot of the same flavors. No sweetness anymore. I'm getting a lot of the earthiness, the almost like a charred cedar.
Yeah.
And the fennel is still there. Getting some of that. Black pepper on the Retro Hail.
Absolutely.
And then that dark graham cracker crust. Still all right there.
Yeah.
When you take the sip of the cream soda as well, it's not really adding much sweetness to it at this point. Just a little bit of the kind of dark vanilla note or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's stayed true pretty well all the way through. Nice
has.
transitions all the way through. Again, great burn, great smoke output. It's just been a great pairing. I've really enjoyed this one quite a bit.
Yeah, me too. It is kind of nice that, kind of nice when you can find pairings that aren't all alcoholic or whatever, because maybe you don't want to drink that day, or maybe you don't drink at all. So this is this is a pairing for you.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Well, thanks again for checking us out today. We're excited to be on the pulpit and hope you're enjoying these pairings. We'll continue to do more and more of these as we get going.
Absolutely.
If you want to check out a full-length video, you can go to finalthirdcigar.com and click on the YouTube page there, and it'll bring you up to a longer video of this. But we're excited to be a part of this, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so far it has.
Yeah, it has. And like I said, as we continue to get better at this banter back and forth, and Isaiah decides to reveal more about his past and his life, then this is going to be fun. So,
What is this, testimony hour?
absolutely, yes, yeah. So I'm Rob, and again, you can follow me on Instagram at Final Third Cigar.
Yeah, and I'm Isaiah, and you can find me on Instagram at The Whiskey Pastor.
So this has been the Final Third Friday pairing, and we will see you next week.
See you then.
Cheers. Boom. Go Avs.